Hi, everybody. I'm Mrs. Holbrook, and I'm taking my mask off because no one else is here today. Except, wait a second, Brady's with me. Maybe I need to make sure he has his face mask on. That's right, cover up your nose, put it around your ears. Oh my goodness, that's silly. He can't even see, it's covering his eyes. Anyways, I am Mrs. Holbrook, and I'm the Title I teacher at Memorial Park and Title I director for Rockland. I am making this video to check in with you and give you some tips and ideas of how to support your young learners at home. You are their first champion and hero and support, and I commend you on this journey you've been taking of being an academic teacher as well now. So, first and foremost, something I want to point out is the importance of a pencil grip, crayon grip, anytime your students, your children are picking up a writing utensil, we want to make sure they have the right grip. This is going to impact them when they get older and they're writing longer amounts. They need to have the right muscle memory in their hands. So when your child is picking up a writing utensil, please tell them to make sure they pinch it and then wrap it around and make a little table for it to sit on. We see a lot of kids who do grips like this or like this. And even though it can be daunting, this is something we want to always correct. Stay on them, especially at home if you can, to really have that grip. And tell them that even though Brady can't see because his face mask, he'll be trying to watch you at home and make sure your grip is correct. The next thing I want to talk about is foundations. So foundations is our time to work on phonics. And don't forget, it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. All of our kids learn best when they're having fun with what they do. They're not stressed. They're not being, oh, I mean, parents, you would never yell at your kids, but they're not being told what to do. They're guided and they're using their brains. So foundations can be repetitive and sometimes it's not creative and exciting, but we still want to make it fun. They will have this notebook that they take back and forth from school to home on hybrid weeks, or if they're remote, they'll have it at home. And it is like their personal helper, their personal assistant. It has everything they'll need as a resource. And anytime they're doing work, even a test, they should use it because we want them to look it up and do it right. That builds that muscle memory. So you're going to see letters and their sounds and all sorts of pictures and all different references that will also help the caregivers at home because some of this might not be the way you learned. So it will tell you different rules. Like, did you know there's a bonus letter rule? A word like boss has two S's at the end because it's a one syllable word with a short vowel, right? All these rules you might not have known existed will be in here to help you. The next part of foundations that I wanted to point out is blending. You're going to be seeing your students tap and blend words. For example, I'll do cat, at, cat. So our early learners are going to be blending, but as soon as our kids can say the whole word, we want to move them out of blending. So a lot of times parents will say sound it out to their kids, and that's great. And we want to do the sounds like super smooth. So if I'm looking at that word cat, instead of saying k, at, when your kid is ready, we want to push them together. Cat, cat, so that there's no space between. If you don't remember that now, it's okay, but this is a video you can rewatch throughout the year when you're like, aha, I can tell at home my student's moving along. And teachers will be doing this and supporting your kids and you all year long as well. Um, next is letter formation. So some students, especially kindergarten students who are just learning how to write some letters, might already form letters a certain way at home. They'll be learning certain ways to form letters and doing something called sky writing, where they write it in the sky. And that's going to help build muscle memory as well, so they can visualize those letters and form them. So we want them to try the ways that we're saying to help their handwriting go quickly down the road. Brady, what should we talk about next? What else might parents want some help with? What's that? Speak up, please. Reading. Yes, reading at home can be a lot of fun and sometimes it can be challenging. So, the number one thing I want to stress to families is making it an experience that is enjoyable for everybody. Reading together, sharing books, and having reasonable expectations. expectations. So Brady is only 2 years old today, let's say, and he only knows how to read the word at. I don't want to expect him to read all the words. I only want him to read the words that I know he's been working on in school. Otherwise, he's going to be frustrated and reading won't be fun anymore. So if you're having concerns about how to help your reader or what type of things they should be able to read, reach out to your teachers. And I'm also here to help and support as well, recommend books and some of the online sources that we'll be using, such as Raz Kids or maybe Epic, are going to help us pick out just right books. And there's all different just right books because there's books that are just right for your kid to read by his or herself. And then there's books that are just right for you to enjoy as a family. And that could be anything as long as there's some support. And last but not least, I want to talk about writing at home. Writing is one of the most difficult tasks for most of our early learners. It involves thinking, having control of their letter formation, getting all those ideas out, forming the sentences neatly, rereading it. It's very complex. So we want to make sure that it's developmentally appropriate at all times. That means in kindergarten, you're going to see a lot of work on drawing and making sure that there's details in our drawings and filling it with colors because this will set the stage for the next steps of labeling. If I draw a picture of my family, I might just label my daughter with a letter if I can't say write her whole name, or the son, I might just put a little S. And then after that, students will start to be able to form the whole words and label them sun, cat, house. And then after that, you'll start to see them form sentences and then build on to their sentences and have full stories. This is a typical progression from kindergarten through the beginning of second grade, where they're going to be able to start rolling and writing multi-page stories and books. So understand that process and try to give your kids opportunities to talk through what they want to write before they write. A lot of times it's easier to and have the ideas out there and then they can go put it on paper and you can help them remember those steps. When we're writing for just creative writing, we don't want to stress about spelling. We want our students to listen to the sounds, tap and write a sound. If your child is stuck on the word cat, say, what do you hear first? What letter is that? Write it. What do you hear next? Stretch it out. Ah, write it. What do you hear last? T, t, t. What letter is that? Write it. And they could be using their Foundations notebook to help them know those sounds. So supporting, listening, and enjoying the learning experience together. It's going to be a wild year. It's going to be a unique and fun year. I'm so excited to see all of your kids, and we are all here for you. Good luck and reach out with questions. Bye, everybody.